Hi, it's good to see you again after a long break. We just had our Chinese New Year break, and today I want to share with you this session called Three Lessons That Non Digital Businesses Can Adopt from the Digital Companies and Scale. This is because so many companies are struggling with this era of digital transformation and looking at those companies that are digital and saying how can we compete with them. So today's topic is really about what can we learn from them and then adapt it into our non-digital businesses and say how can we compete or even learn how to scale like them. Okay, so before we start, let me just introduce myself again. My name is Jeremy. I'm a scaling up coach. I work with CEOs across Asia Pacific looking at how to scale their business. And one of the key questions that always come out is digital transformation. How do I digitally transform my company? And that's what I've been working with some companies, some of them as old as 60 years old, to look at digital and the effects on their business and how they can scale. So, today we want to talk about this topic about digitally transforming a business, and we want to learn from these digital companies to say how does a traditional business, right, a business that's selling like maybe food, furniture, clothes, and some of these very bread and butter things, how do we scale like a tech company? So first of all, let's ask ourselves this question. What's the difference between these digital companies and non-digital companies, right? So here we have the word born digital, right? These companies are born into the digital era, and that's why naturally they were able to flow or make use of the current digital world to do their business. But a lot of our businesses are not like that. We're traditional businesses, right? We built the business from very brick and mortar way, maybe one generation, two generations ago, and slowly build it up in what we call a physical world. But today we want to talk about this very important concept called a phygital world, right? That there's no more distinction between digital and physical. It's really more and more a combination of both. Take, for example, even a digital business like Uber, right? It may be a born digital, but it still delivers a physical product, which is you need to physically get somewhere, right? What about Alibaba, right? It is a digital business, but it still involves the selling of actual goods that you receive and use and consume, right? So we need to first understand this distinction of digital and physical increasingly is becoming less and less because what we are in today is really the phygital world, and that means that it is imperative for the non-digital businesses to really become more and more immersed in some of these digital strategies. So it's no longer matters whether you are born digital or not, but we can learn from these digital native digital businesses what's the way, what kind of a strategy they use to navigate this digital world so that we can do well in a phygital world. So the first thing I want to talk to you about today is really this company called Luckin Coffee. We want to use this as an example to talk about a business selling a very traditional product, which is coffee, and how in a very short time of just 2 to 3 years they're upending a industry giant Starbucks. Starbucks is really the dominant player in China when it comes to coffee, but they are being hit very badly. The market share is being shaken by this new up and coming company called Luckin Coffee. Right, so what can we learn from Luckin Coffee? You see, Luckin Coffee is a very interesting company. They open 2 to 3 stores a day. They opened like more than 500 in their first year, and within like 2 years of their business starting, they were already listed in New York. So this is really a up and coming company. But people always ask, what did they do? What's their secret? You see, you got to understand first and foremost that the leadership team of this company, the CEO, came from a digital company, came from a ride hailing company in China, and she basically used a very digital business model and say, how can I fit that into a traditional business, which is selling coffee, right? Today, we're not talking about some very sexy tech business like Facebook or Alibaba, but we're just talking about selling coffee and how she could use digital business models to take this coffee business to scale. right? So we're going to learn from Luckin Coffee three very important lessons. The first one is to really understand what are network effects and how it will affect your business model. The second one is to talk about how can we develop a digital strategy around a physical product, right? So now we are talking about physical products, but using a digital strategy. So it involves a different way of looking at our business. And third is talk about building digital capabilities to support your digital strategy, which is very, very critical to making sure you can adopt some of these skill sets. Okay, so let's go to the first one. What are network effects? You may have heard of this term or you may not have, but look at the picture here. So when you have got two phones, that means two people interacting with each other, you have actually connection, right? People have formed a network. So a network is essentially when two or three or more people are connected in a way. So if you look at the phone, right, a traditional phone, you can only talk to one person at one time. So if you have one phone and you get to connect with different people, you got more phone numbers, but you can only talk to one person at one time. But now think about your smartphone. Think about the apps that you have where you can mass message people, you can share messages to groups, to interest groups, to Facebook groups or whatever. It becomes something like that, right? Where you can talk to many, many people at the same time. So network effects are essentially interactions that form an ecosystem, right? And set of interactions that eventually become an ecosystem. So to understand this, you need to first understand that now all businesses are actually part of a network. Nobody can run away from network effects. In fact, I was working with a 60-year-old fashion business who says we want to reach out to a new generation of fashion brand owners, and they can only be found online. They don't appear in trade fairs, they don't come for conferences, but these are online brands, and traditionally they will never be able to find these people, but now you can find them. Because why? They are part of a network, right? They're part of a network, which means that they can be connected. The key word then is, how do I create the interactions with them? The kind of interactions that will get me into their network and then build an ecosystem. So understanding network effects is very, very important, and it is really the first step to understanding how a traditional business can leverage on digital business models through understanding the network effects. So nowadays, network effects affect everybody. Everybody, no matter who you are, can be found in a network. No matter if you're a CEO or you're the cleaner, you are part of a network, right? So how do network effects affect your business model? Think about that. The second thing is to develop a digital strategy around a physical product. So the first thing that Luckin Coffee did was to first understand that yes, they operate in a world where people are connected in a network and ecosystem. So once they understand that, the key question is, first, how do we make coffee so accessible? And the second is to connect customers to more customers. So let's talk about the first one, which is access. So we all know that people need coffee every day, right? People drink coffee along the way to work and all that. Now, Starbucks' strategy was to get the best location and create a comfortable area for people to sit and drink coffee. But Luckin Coffee says, no, our strategy would be to make coffee so convenient. So what they do is that they tap into people using digital apps, right? Everybody's connected. Remember this keyword. So how do I make coffee accessible to you through the phone? So you can book a coffee and then the coffee will be sent to you with a promise of 30 minutes. So your coffee will not be less than 30 minutes. If not, you'll get your money back. But what is also making it so interesting is that they open small stores in all areas where there are white collar workers or people that they target as their customers. Why? Because the more networks they have, the more shops they have, and the more apps they have and people on the apps, you see that's how they actually connect the physical and the digital world, right? Because it's still a physical product. But what they want to do is to make this physical product so accessible through physical locations and digital means to order those coffee. And then the next thing is to connect. How do we get customers to bring other customers? And this is only possible when you understand network effects again, right? So what they do is that they they geotag you. Once you download the app, they geotag you if you are 1.5 kilometers within a 1.5 kilometers radius of a Luckin Coffee. And then they will send you promotion and say, since you're so near, if you buy this coffee, you get this coupon, right? And you get the discount, or you buy it at a much lower price, or you buy one, you get how many free. And if you were to share this again with how many of your friends, you will get how many more coupons or how much more discount, right? So this is something that they did, and within a single day, they increased their customer base by thousands. So it's not just having physical locations to be convenient, but it's to connect through friends to bring friends, to get people to talk about you, to share about you, and to bring people to you, right? So this is really what we are talking about building a digital strategy around a physical product. And this digital strategy comes because you understand network effects. And the last point I want to share with you is about building digital capability to support your digital strategy. Now, if you go to Luckin headquarters and they have got a few hundred staff, guess what are these staff working on? The majority of them are not working on a better coffee recipe. They're not working on how to sell more coffee. They're actually people who are working on the software, the networks, the ecosystem, the data that tells you who's ordering what coffees, the digital marketing that's promoting the promotions. And actually, if you think about that, it reflects a certain mindset, and that is they're thinking like a digital company. They're not just saying, oh, we are all about selling coffee. So they build their capabilities according to their focus, which is network effects. Another company that does this is actually Domino's Pizza. So a few years ago, Domino's Pizza beat Pizza Hut as the world's number one pizza. And what they actually do is that they say that they are an e-commerce company that happens to sell pizza. Right, so if you think about that, Luckin Coffee is a little bit like that too, right? They are a digital company that happens to sell coffee. And that is why if you go to Domino's Pizza headquarters, you will see the same thing in Luckin Coffee's headquarters. The majority of the staff are not trying to make a better pizza or brew a better cup of coffee, but they are people working on the technological capabilities of the business, working on the digital assets, working on the ordering system, the apps, the software, the digital marketing. So, if you want to build a company that can compete in the digital world, it is really not about the product, because product people still need. Think about this example. Coffee is as simple as what people drink every day, but the way they sell it is so much different from Starbucks because they understand network effects. They build a digital strategy around a physical product, and they also understand that they need to have the right skill sets to support the digital strategy. So, in conclusion, what I want to share with you is that non-digital businesses focus on delivering products and services, but digital businesses, they focus on building interactions within users. And you can see this example in Luckin Coffee. They get customers to connect with other customers and to connect with other customers. Traditional businesses focus on economies of scale and efficiency, whereas digital businesses, they focus on building the user base and user overlap, right? For Luckin Coffee, they use the WeChat channel, and we know that WeChat has got hundreds of millions of users, right? So it's so easy for them to overlap into other user groups. On the left side, where you talk about non-digital businesses, they focus on supply chain. How do I make the supply chain efficient? In other words, how do I brew a better cup of coffee? How do I make the cup of coffee come faster? But in the digital business, they focus on the demand side. How do I create more people who want to drink coffee, right? And that's why they give out the coupons. And if you share with friends, you get more coupons. The whole idea is to get more people to demand their products rather than focusing on the supply. And the last part is very, very important. In a non-digital business, the key goal is to make money only. But in a digital business, the key goal is to generate data as well as making money. So I hope this simple little video gives you an understanding how digital businesses can learn from digital businesses to sell even very traditional products in a very different way to help you capture bigger market shares, to help you to beat your competitors and to scale your business. Once again, my name is Jeremy. If you need help or you want to talk to me, you can reach out to us. I help companies to scale, and one of the things that we really work on these few days is on digital transformation in traditional businesses, right? So this is our YouTube page. If you think this video is useful, there are many other videos on how to scale your business or how to take your company through a digital transformation. Look us up and join us and get the videos. And if you still need help, contact us at this website, grow@growthcatalyst.com.sg. I repeat, grow@growthcatalyst.com.sg, and we will be able to share with you more resources, including tools, videos, articles to help you in your digital transformation. So thank you very much. See you again.